What's going on, everybody? FYB presents Wise Word Wednesdays, a quick live stream to help you get closer to accomplishing your dreams. Listen, let me start the show off by saying, as I usually do, thank you, thank you, thank you to each and every person that took time out of your day to listen to and to watch the Wise Word Wednesday show. I appreciate you. Um, Thank you to all the people that regardless of which streaming service you're listening, whether you're watching it on YouTube Live, whether you're watching on Facebook Live, Twitter Live, whether you're watching or listening to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, however you're paying attention to this content, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I also want to encourage you, if you're not already, please hit that subscription button because that actually can help make sure that you're always aware whenever we're dropping some new content. Also, please hit that like button if you can, because it definitely helps us get more support, and it also lets other people get access to the content as well. So even if we might have something that's not meant for you today, it's okay because it might be meant for somebody who's following you or who you're following, and they'll be able to get access to see it. So today's show, I don't have a guest, and it's not going to be a long show for you all today, but I do want to talk a little bit about what my short-term Wise Word Wednesday was this week. So if you're not familiar with the show, every single week we have been dropping what's called Wise Word Wednesdays. This is more of a shortened, condensed version of what I do here, but we started Wise Word Wednesdays. The FYB team started it back in 2017. So we are 6 years completed. We started October of 2017, 6 years down. So we are on year 7 now, where every single week on Wednesday, we will provide you with content that is something that we learned that week, something that was inspirational, that motivational content. Our goal is to make sure that every week that we're providing somebody with some content that can help them make their journey just a little bit easier than it was for us. And so we have been doing that for over 6 years now. Um, but today I wanted to go a little bit more in depth into what the Wise Word Wednesday was that I posted today, and it was called "Humble but Confident." So give me 1 second here so I can pull that video up for you, just in case you're not following the Instagram, the Joe Spider Instagram or the Fire Your Boss Instagram. You're more than welcome to follow those Instagram pages if you would like to get the shortened, condensed version of the Wise Word Wednesdays, which is usually about a minute and a half long. So it's not too long. It's condensed, and it's not like an interview style. It's more of just me giving you a quick message each and every week to make sure that we can help you get a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of motivation, a little inspiration to continue moving forward. So give me 1 second here while I pull up this Wise Word Wednesday so that you can check it out. Here we go. Okay, so you should be seeing that. What's going on, everybody? FYB presents Wise Word Wednesdays, a quick speech to help you get through the week. Listen, today's wise word is this: I'm humble enough to know that I'm no better than anybody else. In life, it's easy to look at people for the clout, for the money, for the cars, for the clothes, the following, all these things, and to say they're better than because of X. But in reality, the way life works, I know that any of those things could be taken away from us at any point in time. At the drop of a dime, you could have it all and you can lose it all. So I don't treat people based on the materialistic. I don't treat people based on their possessions. I don't treat people based on how much money they have or how many friends they have or the followers or likes or anything like that. I treat people as human beings because I know that regardless of what I may or may not have or what they may or may not have, there's something that we can learn from each other because we're both humans just trying to learn, trying to live, and try to grow. And so I encourage people to treat people as they are as opposed to what they possess. But I'm confident enough to know that nobody else is better than me. So regardless of their possessions, regardless of their earnings, regardless of what their clout is, regardless of what they do for a living, at the end of the day, they should treat me with the same respect that I treat them. Because we're all just humans trying to learn, trying to grow, trying to live, trying to survive, trying to make the best out of what we have in our generation. And do the best that we can so that we can set the next generation up for success. So FYB presents Wise Word Wednesdays. I'm humble but confident, so treat me the same. Fresh, I love you. All right. All right. So that is my just a condensed version of the weekly Wise Word Wednesdays that I do. I've been doing that, like I said, since 2017. And so if you are interested in getting some of that content and looking at it and reposting it or anything like that, you're more than welcome to. You want to reuse it, you're more than welcome to. I promise I'm not going to sue you or anything at this point, in time. But definitely you're more than welcome to use it because that's what it's there for. It's meant to help you, and it's also meant to help myself as well too, and anybody that can use it. But I wanted to go in a little bit more into detail about it because again, with the Wise Word Wednesdays that we do short term, the condensed version, it's only about a minute or so, and so it doesn't allow me to kind of go more in depth or go it, explain it more. It's kind of a quick version because we know how social media is, right? The longer your video, the less likely people are going to watch it, the less likely people are actually going to pay attention to the full content. So that's why I come to YouTube. So that way I can go into more depth and explaining it a lot more. But we have to really, we have to do a better job in regards to our humility as a society. And it's interesting how quickly we forget the way things could have been or the way things were for many people. And I say that because a lot of people, we get so caught up in the materialistic. We get so caught up in the possessions. We get so caught up in what we have and what we've obtained that we tend to overlook or use that as a qualifier to say that I'm better than such and such, or I like such and such should be happy to be able to even have a conversation with me, or such and such doesn't even belong in the same room. And I understand that because there are times where I feel the same way, right? But I think it's important that we have to humble ourselves a little bit because not too long ago, we were in a position of desperation. Not too long ago, we were literally like, we need each other. We were 100% dependent on everybody. Right? When COVID happened, 40 million people were unemployed. So we had a lot of people in this country who could not work anymore. So that means, and that meant that regardless of what your socioeconomic status was prior to COVID, when COVID dropped and you lost your job, you didn't have it. Period. You didn't have it. People lost their jobs, which ultimately resulted in them losing their homes, which resulted in family displacement, all these different things. That was a downward spiral due to one incident, due to one thing. That was a really, really big thing. I'm not gonna trying to like downplay it at all, but it was just one thing. And it's interesting because I know that right now the society has, especially within social media, and there have been a lot of conspiracy theorists who are out there saying that this is government programming in order to separate the man and the woman. And we're talking heterosexual here. We're not even talking about the LGBTQ in that sense, because that's just not the area that I'm super. I mean, I know enough information, but I don't feel enough to where I'm just going to sit here and talk about it right now. In this point, I'm specifically addressing the heterosexual, heteronormative relationships. So they're saying that the government is trying to separate the heterosexual man from the heterosexual woman, so that way they can get two incomes, right? They can get, instead of people buying one home and living in it together as a family, if y'all divorced or separated, then we can get two homes. That's two incomes. That's two taxes, right? As opposed to one, right? You don't get the tax break. Now it's everybody's, single or whatever. So those kind of conspiracy theories, which I understand, that perspective, but if you look online and you see the way YouTube and social media is, it's almost going like a men versus women conversation. And I remember having these kind of conversations in college. And I remember some of the professors, some of the administrators were like, oh, we've been talking about this for 20 years and da da da. So these kinds of conversations aren't new. They're not new to society. They're not new to the Black culture. I mean, we can go back to James Baldwin and I think it was Angela Davis, I think, that had the conversation back in the day. I could be wrong. It might not have been Angela Davis, but I think it was. I think it was. But there was just this, there's always been the conversation of men and women, especially in regards to Black men and Black women, right? There's always been this conversation of how we could improve, what are we doing wrong, who needs to do what. All of those things have always existed in the Black community. But I think now with social media, it's kind of been highlighted. Certain parts have been highlighted more than others. And right now, we're seeing like this gender war, right? Where it's like men versus women, and who's the reason that we're all messed up. And there's a lot of blame to go around. I am not the kind of person to make it seem like as if men are innocent. I'm not the type of person to make it seem like women are innocent, because they're not. Everybody had a hand to play in the destruction of the family, especially in regards to the destruction of the Black family. Um, everyone had a role. And so, hold on me one second. Everyone had a role to play. And so, with that being said, because everyone had a role to play, there's enough blame to go around. But right now, what we're seeing within our media is that it's being highlighted about pointing the fingers. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. So I say that, I know I went on a long little soliloquy there, but I'm just saying, when I say that because not too long, like we hear on social media, we see like women saying, I don't need no man. I don't need no man. I could do fine without you. I got a job. I got money. I don't need that. Right. But not too long ago, when COVID happened and people were fighting over simple things like toilet tissue, those people who were like, I don't need no man, debatable. Those men who were like, man, I don't need no woman. I got me a nice job. I got me a nice car. I live in a nice community. I'm good, man. I can go to any girl. I can go pay for a booth in a club. I can go do whatever. I could go on vacation, go to Miami, go to LA, go to Chicago, go to New York, wherever I want to go, I could go. When that pandemic hit and 40 million people were unemployed, or even if you weren't the person that was unemployed, when you couldn't go party in LA, when you couldn't go party in Frisco, when you couldn't go party in Miami, when you couldn't go party in New York, when you had to sit at home by yourself. It's easy to say, I don't need nobody when things are going your way. Right? Those men and women who were like, I don't need nobody. I'm good. I could do good all by myself. Well, the pandemic showed you you're not really that great by yourself. When you had to just sit in the house and it was only you and nobody else, right? You didn't have remember, you ain't got no relationship because you good all by yourself. Well, you ended up by yourself. It was a lot of people buying pets and adopted pets because they was by themselves. I was one of them. I wasn't by myself, but I ended up getting a pet anyway. You feel me? But I'm just saying, there's a lot of people getting pets because they didn't have no friends and they didn't have no partner to be able to build with. And there was a lot of people offing themselves during the pandemic. RIP to all those folks, because they realized that being by yourself isn't really that fun when you just alone. Right? We are humans. We need that compatibility. We need that energy off of each other. We feed off that. But somehow, when we get these materialistic things, when we get these possessions, when we get these promotions, when we get these things that really don't matter, but they mean so much to us, when we get these things, we start to say, oh, now I can overlook my brother or my sister to my right or to my left. Now I'm better than. Now I can ignore those calls. I can ignore those text messages. I can ignore those DMs. I don't have to respond because I'm too good. I'm too busy. I'm too dope. I'm too rich. I'm too whatever. I'm too bad. All of those things that we do, we have to realize that those things can be taken away just like that. As we saw during the pandemic, all of those people that was like, oh, I'm too rich, I make too much money, da 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 da. Well, it was a lot of people that was unemployed, and that not just broke people. I'm talking about people that make a lot of money. It was doctors that became unemployed. It was nurses that became unemployed. It was police officers that became unemployed. It was firefighters that became unemployed. It was a lot of people that lost their jobs. A lot of people. And I'm hoping that they realized, not just them, but all of us, that we realize that we need each other, and that it's important that just because to know that just because you have these accomplishments or this money or this status, right? We're all into clout right now. Everybody like, who got the most followers? Well, I only talk to certain people with certain followers. It's like the world is operating like we are in the music industry. Right. The way the music industry works, if you're not familiar with it, I'm gonna talk just specifically about hip hop because that's just what I'm, what my preferred music is hip hop, even though it's very narrow preference because I don't listen to a lot of the artists because I don't really resonate with what they're saying anymore. But in regards to my genre of music, it's hip hop, right? So in the field of hip hop, you'll see people who've been working with artists under the table or behind the scenes 10 years, right? They've been putting in work and writing songs and doing all this, but they don't never post those individuals. They don't never post them. They don't never tag them. They don't never do none of that until they break through, right? So let's say, like, I'm just using this as an example. This is not like calling about like let's say me and Drake been collabing for like the past 5 years, collabing in a variety of ways, whether I direct the music videos or help direct or executive produce a song or something like that, or like I'm just like in there helping writing a couple of hooks or whatever the reason. I'm the engineer, whatever it is, right? Drake won't post me. Drake won't tag me. Drake won't promote my stuff until I become famous. Now, when I become famous, then that's when, oh, that's really cool. Oh, so hand gesture, famous. I don't know. Hand gestures, I thought, is what brought it. Whatever. But when I become famous, then that's when we're like, oh yeah, let's promote. Oh yeah, let's post. Oh yeah, let's do that. Right? Like that's what we'll do because you have enough status now to to make it seem like as if you're not trying to get play off of my play. Now you already have enough status. Now we can do an actual song, a joint song together that says featuring me and Drake. But if it's just like, yo, I'm Drake's background dancer or singer or photographer or videographer, those things, he's not going to tag me. He's not going to post me. He's not going to be like, hey, yo, check out my boy. He's rocking. He's not going to do that because I'm not famous enough yet. And that's how I feel like we operate in regards to our day-to-day society. It's a lot of people pretending like they're better than, they're so great, and they don't want anybody else to gain from their status. And so they only post people who have the clout too, or they only talk to people who have the clout too, or they only like will respond to people who have the clout too. But in reality, all these things can be taken away just like that. Just like that. We are so so not far removed from being in an area or in a time where the entire world was shut down, and people walk around as if they are above the other people, above your brothers, above your sisters, simply because you don't have a following. Listen, I know people that got 100,000 followers, and I know people that don't even have a social media at all. And I will say that they both treat me the same because I respect them, so they treat me with respect. It's not about the following. I know people that made $1 million, and I know people that's dead broke, and they treat me the same because I respect them and they respect me. But you have people who act like they really doing it because of a certain clout that they expect to have or status that they expect to have. So we just have to understand that it's important to be humble because any of these things can be taken away at any point. At any point. For anything, that job that you got, you think they won't get rid of you? That money that you make, you think they won't stop that? That house that you bought, or that apartment that you live in, or that condo that you got, you think they won't get rid of that? You think, well, how you think they gonna treat you when you stop paying? How you think they gonna treat you? What do you think they're gonna do when you say, yo, I'm broke? They're gonna be like, bye, we gonna get rid of this, get rid of you, and we gonna sell this to the next person because there's somebody willing to pay more. In fact, what you bought it for is way cheaper than what it's worth right now. So we gonna actually make more money because we gonna sue you, and then we gonna sell your stuff and make that money back. Meanwhile, you still owe money. And they're gonna sell it for more. So we have to be humble. We cannot get on this I'm better than or I'm above my brothers and my sisters, because at the end of the day, bro, we are just a grain of sand on an island. On an island, we're one grain of sand. And we need each other to create the beach. We need each and every one of us to come together. So it's important. Now, the reason I said humble but confident, as you heard, which is the other part, that you have to be confident. So I'm humble enough to know that I am not better than anybody out there. I can have a conversation with a homeless person. I can have a conversation with a broke person. I can have a conversation with a millionaire. Well, I don't know if they say homeless now. I think they say unhoused. I think that's the politically correct term. So I apologize. Unhoused. See, I ain't perfect, but I'm just saying. Okay, I can have a conversation with anybody. I can have a conversation with a Christian. I can have a conversation with a Baptist, with a Catholic, with I can have a conversation with a vegan, a pescatarian. Like I can have a conversation with a meat lover. Pause. I can have a conversation with a grill master, with a chef. I can have a conversation with anybody, man, and learn something. I can have a conversation with a stripper. I have a conversation with a teacher, professor. I can have a conversation with a prostitute. I can have a conversation with anybody and learn. So I'm humble enough to know that I am no better. I may not be willing to do the exact same that you're doing. I may not have a love or a passion for what you do, but I'm no better because we're all just grain in the sand on an island. But I'm confident enough to know that even though I'm no better than anybody else that's out there, not a single person out there is better than me. Not a single person out there is better than me. Each of you are great, but so am I. And so, what I've learned over time is that I have to stop allowing people to think that it is okay to treat me less than. You see, part of what my thought process always is, it's accountability. So in everything that has ever happened in my life, I'm always asking myself, what did I do to cause this? How could I have avoided this situation? Or how did I make this situation great? How could I do it again? Can I replicate this? Can I turn this into a system where we do it consistently over and over and over so that I get this result? Or have I been the cause to my own detriment? Am I the reason? What didn't I do properly? What should I change? So I'm always asking myself, I'm looking inward. And so even at times where other people, right? Because we don't control other people. So even at times when other people have done me wrong, when other people I feel like have treated, not feel like, I know that other people have treated me as if I was less than, or as if I am less accomplished than because of XYZ, right? And that may be true on paper. I might not be as accomplished in one particular area. That's fine. But that doesn't give someone a reason to treat me as if I'm not great as well, because we're all great, just in a variety of ways. I think there's a quote out there, and I could be butchering it completely, but there's a quote out there where, like, if fish compare themselves to lions, they would hate themselves. Or like if an ape compared himself to a shark, he would kill himself, or she would kill themselves trying to swim all day, right? You will never ever be the greatest at every single thing because there's somebody else that's born to do that. And I'm okay with that. But that doesn't mean that sharks are not important. That doesn't mean that apes are not important. That doesn't mean that fish are not important or that lions are not important. Everybody has a role to play, but I refuse to allow people to treat me as if the role that I play is not valuable. So again, I can't control what people do, but what I can do is I can control access. So instead of allowing people to treat me the way that they feel is okay and acceptable, if I say that's not okay, what I need to do and what I need to learn, what I'm encouraging you all to do as well, is to shut off access. And I'm not saying that pretend like you're better than. What I'm saying is make it clear you have not treated me in the way that I feel that I know that I'm. You haven't respected me in the way that I know that I deserve because I'm great just like you're great. You're great just like I'm great. And so therefore, it's not okay for me and you to communicate in this sense. I love you, but I'm gonna love you from a distance. I wish you the best, but I'm gonna wish you the best over here. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I am confident enough to know that nobody else is better than me. We all have a role to play in this society. We all have things that we need to do in this society. I appreciate you, my bro. Reezy said, "Preach, Spider. You know I'm gonna talk that talk, bro. You know I'm gonna talk that talk. I appreciate you." But everybody has a role to play. We all have a lot of stuff that we have going on. Everybody's making sacrifices. One thing that I had to learn is that I had to stop expecting people to have the time and the energy that I have just because I have it. Everybody making sacrifices. Everybody's doing things. Everybody has something going on. And so if somebody's reaching out to you, if somebody's trying to support you, if somebody's doing, that's why, like, the type of person I am, I try to respond to every single comment. I try to respond to every single DM. I try to respond to every single post. I try to do that now. Granted, obviously, I don't have 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 followers, right? So it's understandable. But I don't want you to get it twisted. I'm busy too. I got things going on too. I got a lot of different jobs. Just because I don't be posting it on the internet all the time, trust me, I got stuff to be working on too. I'm just not the braggadocious type where I need to put everything online. But believe me, I'm doing other things. So I'm busy and you're busy. But the thing is, because I value those people that took the moment, took time out of their day just to be able to say, "Hey, bro, I love what you said right there. I'm gonna be like, man, thank you, because I don't want that person who left that comment to think that that comment is not important to me. Now, maybe when I get 50,000 followers or 100,000 followers or a million followers, maybe then I don't have the time to. But hopefully by then I'll be able to have a team of people that can respond to comments. Because I'm gonna tell, bro, that stuff is important to me. When somebody drops a comment or somebody DMs me and be like, yo, bro, that message resonated, that is important to me. And I don't ever want to take that for granted. I don't want them to think, oh, I'm too famous to respond to a comment, to a DM, because I got 3,000 followers. Now all of a sudden I'm too famous because I got 3,000. Like, bro, for real? Like, I know people that got 50,000 followers that still I could DM right now and they're gonna respond. So I'm tripping because I got 3,000. Right? Like I'm not that famous. Like, but social media has allowed us to get so big-headed, right? And like cloud our judgment and make it seem like as if, nah, bro, I'm not. Nah, I ain't responding to him. Nah, I ain't responding to her because I'm too great. No, no, no. Any of that stuff can be taken at a moment. Your account can get hacked at any point. Knock on wood. I hope it doesn't, but it can get hacked at any point. I know a lot of people during the pandemic that got their account hacked. Then what? Then what? Now you sliding back into everybody deals with your new account. Like, hey, follow my new account. I got hacked. Blah 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 blah. But I thought you was too famous. I thought you was so dope. You ain't got to reply. Like, come on, bro. Any of these things, just because I got a good job, if another homie ain't got a good job, that don't mean I'm better than him. That means I had opportunities and I got lucky, but that doesn't make me better than. That's why I talk to my homies, regardless of where they work at, regardless of what they do, regardless of their profession, regardless of their criminal record, regardless of where they at. Regardless, I'm still gonna show love as if they are the greatest person I've ever met because they're great too. I got a homie doing time, and every time I see, I'm like, man, I love you, bro. When I see him post, I'm like, let's go. Doing time. Nobody is better than me, and I'm not better than anybody else, bro. We human. We human. And I just want us to remember that we have to humble ourselves and make sure that we see, look, that's my brother over there. That's my sister over there. Like, I love that person. That person might be going through something. Because one thing that I know for sure, and I'm hoping that people take heed to this, is that I lost 21 people during the pandemic. Not well, since the pandemic. Let me say that, not during the pandemic, because some of them were recent. 21 people since 2020. Most of them were my age or younger. 21 people. I think there might have been like four people that was older than me. 21 people. Everything from murder to drowning to brain aneurysm, everything, bro. Everything. I've seen it all. To self-deletion, I've seen it all. It's not easy, man. People are going through things. So we got to humble ourselves because we don't want to wait until it's too late before we say, oh, man, I love that person. Well, why you didn't tell them? You don't want to be going through your phone. You find out somebody passed away and you going through your phone and you like, oh, bro, they text me and I never replied. They called me. I didn't even answer. I don't know if you know what it's like, but I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have somebody pass and to be looking through your phone and realize, bro, they called you and you didn't pick up because you was like, I'll talk to them tomorrow. Wasn't no tomorrow. We have to humble ourselves and realize that, bro, we're not better than anybody. We're not better. But they also have to realize that they're no better than you. They're no better than you. I just wanted to elaborate on that Wise Word Wednesday, man. I appreciate y'all for taking the time. Hit the like button if y'all can, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Thank you for commenting. Shout out to my bro Reezy again for commenting, man. I love you, bro. I know it's been a minute since we done linked up, bro. We got to link up again, bro, because you know it's all love. I hope your podcast is going well. You the man, bro. That's for real. Never gonna forget those good times we had out in the dirty 530. But we gotta really, really show some love, man. Drop a comment. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know, the goal is to bring, oh, my man, still in here. All right, it's love, bro. He said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Drop a comment if y'all can. I appreciate y'all. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Man, share this with somebody, man. Share this link if y'all can with somebody. I appreciate y'all. You know, we do the condensed Wise Word Wednesdays every week. Wednesdays, we're gonna drop that content for you no matter what. Oh, my man said, okay, he said he's starting another one. Oh, yeah, we got a link, bro. We got it. Yes, man. I'll tell you what. What we gonna do is this. I'm gonna try to get you on next week if you can. We can even, if you want to pre-record it, we could pre-record it, and you feel me? I'll drop it next Wednesday. But yeah, bro, we gonna do the collab for sure. We gonna figure it out. If I gotta record it on a Tuesday or a Monday or something like that, we gonna get it in. I'm gonna message you, you know what I'm saying, so we could talk more about it. And he said, like, we was for sure going up at a dirty 530. You know what's good. You know what's good, man. That's what's up. So listen, man, I'm about to get out of here. I really do hope that this has been helpful to people. Share this with somebody. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Feel free to message us if you got some content you want me to talk about, or you got some things you want me to elaborate on. Let's let this Wise Word win. Oh, he said, let's go live. Okay, no doubt. He tried to do it live. Okay, for sure. We gonna do it then. We gonna link up, man. So I'm gonna leave y'all with this, man. I'm humble enough to know that I am no better than anybody, but I'm confident enough to know that nobody's better than me. FYB presents Wise Word Wednesdays. I'm going to leave y'all with a We Fresh, and I love y'all. Peace.